So we have full company alignment around every day. Like every day we're going to come in and we're going to run this many calls. We're going to aim at this much revenue. Our average ticket's going to be this. Our conversion's going to be this. We're going to expect to sell this many clubs, this many reviews. And we're going to know that we're going to set up tomorrow for success. That's what we're on alignment now. And for the most part, that's great until it comes to weather. In extreme weather events, we're a weather enhanced business. So we have to change the rules a little bit. So the first one's on call. We don't have on call. We have optional on call basically. So we have some guys that work on the weekends. They take calls if they want them, essentially, like water heaters or
items that are worth going out for.
Pretty much. So like we've done 2 to 5 water heaters a weekend for a year and a half. So we always have done them. And that's really what alerted us to launching weekends. And now we have people on shifts on the weekends too, but it's not going to be enough this weekend. So we basically opened it up and said like, hey, we're going to have some no powers. We're going to have some no heats. We're going to have some no hot waters. If you want it, come get it. Now, we have to set them up. We have to build capacity inside Service Titan. We have to make sure that our call center knows that they're available. This isn't like, yeah, Jimmy's, down
half
to...
in, half out, yeah. But it's optional.
It's optional.
Still optional. I told everyone, I said mandatory on call.
Well, see, it's optional, but the company's big enough that someone's going to take it. It's like, hey, do you want 20 grand of sales for the weekend?
I guess the better question is like on your average team size, say if you have different teams,
Yeah.
each area, how many of them took you up on that? And
No, we only
did you see
needed
an
1 or
increase?
2 above the shift. So we have like 7 people working this weekend. It's not that much. Like compared to total headcount, it's not that much. And we're also in a weird time where like, I've talked about this on the show, but we're launching weekends. That's taken every bit of 45 days for us. We're multi-trade, multi-discipline. It's not like we're just plumbing or just HVAC where I can just like load guys down. Like I have to get 2 electricians. I have to get 2 HVAC, 2 plumbers. Then you have to get a call center. Then you have to get dispatch. So it's a 12 to 15 person hiring round to fill this out. It'll take 90 days from start of the idea back in November to completion in February. So we opened it up. So we got everyone, we trained, we opened up their capacity on Service Titan, which is just like, yes, you can schedule for them. And then we taught our call center, the after hours and the weekend call center, how to schedule on them and what priorities they could put on those technicians. So that's the first big one, is literally, do you have the people to do it? Or on the weekend. Weekday, we'll talk about that. The second one is the schedule. We had to get a little bit more choosy about the schedule. So we have a tool that we use called the 3-day call board. Have we ever talked about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not very complicated, but it did change our business for the better in September when we first started using the 3-day call board. So we didn't make it up. It's from a group that we're a part of called Nexstar. And the 3-day call board is before you leave at the end of every day. Tomorrow has to have 3 calls on every tech. The next day has to have 2, and the following day has to have 1. And the idea is that you take full accountability and ownership over your team's schedule being full, which was something that I think most businesses don't do. I know that we didn't.
We didn't
Right?
as well until we started doing it.
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
And just like anything else that I've implemented over the past year, because we put in some real like stuff that I wish we knew at 5 million, but instead we're figuring out at 25 million. I feel sincerely bad for everyone that we compete against, because we are figuring out like building block 101 stuff, and we're already bigger than all of them. I don't know. It's going to be really entertaining. But 3-day call board's a big deal. Now we have to think about, okay, instead of the expected, let's say 800 total calls, so maybe like 400 inbounds or 500, whatever it's going to be for Monday, it's going to be 5 degrees. So we should expect 1,000 inbounds, which our call center does have the capacity to handle. We could probably handle up to 1,400 or something a day. That would be a lot. That would like full tilt.
Maximum. Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking on the toilet type of, environment. Most days between inbounds and outbounds, 800 to 900 is sort of where we fall. So we could bounce up 50%. But we have to think about how we're going to think about 3-day call board, because we know that those calls are going to come in and we don't want to have to reschedule too much. Typically on a day-to-day basis, we want to schedule 110% of capacity, because we know that we're going to have some cancellations.